this fathering gig. It's pretty cool. I think this fathering gig is designed to make men into grown-ups. And I think this fathering thing is designed to make kids into adults, but not grown-ups. I think the grown-up part comes after you start becoming a parent. That's my opinion anyways. More later. Intentionality. It's a word I've been thinking a lot about. It's a word that isn't very popular these days. Well, at least it hasn't been popular with me. I'm not much of an intentional person. I tend to kind of float through life and not really think about my choices, not really think about where things are taking me until they happen. Makes me kind of a reactionary individual. But I ran across an article on a blog called The Art of Manliness, and it challenged that idea for me. And I can't say that it was the first time it's ever been challenged for me, but it sunk in a little bit harder for me this time. And this idea of intentionality, of parenting with intention, parenting on purpose, I guess is another way of putting it. And actually, a good friend of mine, his blog, I believe, is entitled Living Life on Purpose. Well, I remember reading that. I think that's a good byline, but never really sunk into me how much it was applicable to my family situation and my parenting and my fathering. So intentionality is becoming something that I'm thinking more and more and more about. Why am I saying all this in front of this bizarre contraption? This was built with intentionality. I have no idea what the intention of this thing was. I have no idea what the intention was of the person who built this. The closest I've seen in terms of speculation is that it might be some kind of stretcher for a sports thing. And you put like stuff down here, medical equipment, and then lay someone out on the top if they're hurt or something. Maybe, I don't know. But it was built with intentionality. And like this crazy looking object that makes no sense in retrospect, we need to actually parent. We need to father with intentionality. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of thinking about what that means in our family situation, what it means to parent with intentionality, to be a father with intentionality, and to plan things like, what are the outcomes that I want? What do I want my kids to look like, to be like, to think like, to be like as human beings when they grow up and become grown-ups? What does that look like? Who do I want them to be? Another person once, I think it was in a book, I think it was in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. They said, begin with the end in mind. So, I guess I'm kind of already halfway through this. My oldest is 12 years old now, so I better figure this out pretty darn quick. Because if I'm not sure what the end goal is for me and my kids, who I want them to be when they're 18, 19, 20 years old, then how am I supposed to get them there? How am I supposed to help them become that person? So I got to figure that out. So begin with the end in mind is my first tip on parenting with intentionality. And as for what that means for me, well, you know what? I haven't thought of it yet, but I'll get back to you.